So let's just sit in our meditation posture. And if you are sitting at a desk with your legs down, make sure your feet are in a parallel position and perhaps have a little stool, footstool or a cushion underneath your feet. And then something underneath your sit bones. Hands in the meditation mudra and the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. And if you are sitting in the regular cross-legged position and you're quite tight in the hips, you can perhaps put a couple of little cushions underneath each knee. So now just imagine your shoulders are over your hips, so just align your shoulders with your hips as we land from our day. It may have been quite busy for everyone, so I've certainly been rushing around the last several hours. So it's good to just kind of land. Bring your mind where your body is. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head and out. You can imagine somebody is standing above you or behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. You imagine your head is kind of racing towards the ceiling. The crown of your head is reaching up to touch the ceiling. Now, the head is slightly tipped forward, and this helps to prevent agitation in the mind. So if our chin is up and the back of the neck is cricked, it creates agitation. So we just want to make the back of the neck nice and long. Tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. Bring your attention to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the back of the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, and the area around the mouth and the jaw, the back of the head. Relax the scalp there. Now relax your temples and your ears, back of the neck, the shoulders, and the upper thoracic, and the throat, the chest and the belly, and your limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And bring your mind to the breath. And just notice the sensation of the air as you're breathing in, flowing in through the outside of the nostrils, and the sensation of the air as you exhale is slightly warmer. There may be some sounds in your environment, so just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to go off and investigate with your mind. And welcome, Apala. And notice your thoughts. They may be arising. Just allow them to arise and abide, and just let them fall away. And try not to engage with your thoughts or grasp onto them or push them away with aversion. And just let them be. As you bring the mind back to the breath. So let's bring to mind all the people of our life, the ones we love, the ones who care for us, the ones who offer us their strength. Support us when we're feeling down, rejoice for us when things go well. And then there's the ones we don't like terribly much and they don't like us. And then there's the strangers. And we just bring to mind that these three groups of people. This is how we generally categorize everybody in our life. They're actually all the same in their wish to be happy and their wish not to suffer. And they're all the same in this unbelievable, having this unbelievable capacity for enlightenment. So tonight we're doing this Vajrasattva purification practice in the context of the 4 opponent powers. And LAMA YESHE says there is no negativity that cannot be purified. And it's basically a psychological process that we're doing here. This is just a very mental exercise. So the first of the 4 opponent powers is regret. So just think of something that's happened today, or something that happened in your life that you feel sorry about, that you regret. Regret's not guilt. Regret's a more kind of taking responsibility sort of attitude. So think of something, whether it was with your, did you harm somebody with your body or your speech? And the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And given that we understand what suffering is all about, we probably don't want to invite any more into our lives. So therefore, logically, we want to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. So we also regret the anger and the attachment, all our delusions basically, our neediness, wishing to harm, our jealousy, our grudges. And these are the cause of why we end up taking action and harming others, and think, I'm sick of this suffering. So, okay, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? And here we come to the power of reliance. So the first little section here is about refuge. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So just imagine Vajrasattva's on the crown of your head, and you can imagine this is the mind of your Lama, your teacher, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And he's made of this blissful, radiant, white light. He's sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has this beautiful, radiant face, and lotus-like eyes, long. And they're looking at you with love, compassion, peace, total acceptance. So whatever it is you think you may have done that's awful, he doesn't see it that way. He's just accepting you exactly as you are, meeting you where you're at without any judgment whatsoever. He has a sweet red mouth, and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. And he's wearing the 5-pointed crown on his head, and it's embedded with jewels. And he's wearing jewelry on his ears, those earrings, around his neck and his waist and his arms and wrists and around his ankles. And he's wearing these beautiful silken robes, these celestial robes in the royal Indian style. And they're just sort of floating in the wind, and they're also made of light. And around his head there is a beautiful aura of light, and also around his body, multicolored auras, radiating light. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened, By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So the next little section here is about developing compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So in this case, the beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us. So think of the people that you may have harmed recently and try and develop a compassionate mind towards them, as a wish for them to not suffer, for them to be free from suffering. And then, a little bit more difficult, think of someone who has harmed you and just wish for them to not suffer. Have compassion for them, because the harm that they've done to you is going to manifest as suffering for them sometime down the track. So you feel compassion to them because of that. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So next we come to the power of the remedy, and this is like taking the medicine, doing the practice of purification. So first is the purification of the body, and you imagine on the crown of your head, remember Guru Vajrasattva is there, made of light, pouring out of his heart this white nectar, and it's coming out quite strongly, so quite forcefully. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps coming and pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawa Siddhi Menpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawa Siddhi Menpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawa Siddhi Menpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawa Siddhi Menpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawa Siddhi Menpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawa Siddhi Menpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawa Siddhi Menpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dida Mebowa, Sutokaya Mebowa, Supokaya Mebowa, Anarakta Mebowa, Sawa Siddhi Menpe Yata Sawa Kama Sutta Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. I think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is a purification of the speech. So this time Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech. And this kind of overflows and disappears into space, except you can make it, it's more than overflowing. It's kind of like I've been saying to people, it's just sort of the amount of force that would be required if a hat was to be blown off the top of your head. So it could be almost like a spout of water that comes out of a whale, perhaps. You could imagine like that as well. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech, lying, talking badly about others behind their back and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is instantly dispelled by this nectar filling you and overflowing into outer space. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebelwa Sutokaya Mebelwa Supokaya Mebelwa Anarakta Mebelwa Sawasidi Mempe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible that you could do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So next is purification of the mind. So now Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful light this time from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just kind of the same as when you walk into a room that's dark, it's pitch black, right? And you flick on the switch and the light instantly dispels the darkness, doesn't it? So it's the same here. The moment the light from Guru Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled. So all the attachment and the neediness and the anger and the depression and the wishing to harm and the grudges and the jealousy and the bitterness, all of this instantly dispelled as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of your own suffering, all of our own suffering, and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think now, there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So you can imagine the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech and mind, nectar and light. Or you can just visualize nectar and light coming together from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, and it pours into you through your crown, fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitsame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mipiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So now feel you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity is left in your mind stream, and even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is the power of resolve, and this is the fourth step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial step. This is a determination that we make to refrain from harming. So we're really trying here. We just make a decision. Okay, I'm going to work on something. So and also for everyone, people here have been working on this now for over a year, rejoice in your progress. So you'll notice that there's been changes in your life, for sure. So try and recognize those and pat yourself on the back and acknowledge the progress that you're making to yourself, no matter how small it might be. So really take it on board. Oh yeah, I am making progress. We all tend to look at our faults the whole time. We tend to, oh, I haven't done enough, or I'm not enough, or I'm not enough for everybody else, I'm not doing enough. But we tend not to look at the progress that we're making and all the good things we are and all the good things that we do. And maybe that is enough. So we need to learn to be enough for ourselves. And maybe that could be something that we could work on. Refraining from negative self-talk. So maybe it's something that you're able to catch yourself doing and say, I'm not going to do any negative self-talk for 5 seconds or 30 seconds or 1 minute. Or I'm not going to gossip about the next door neighbour for 8 hours while I'm asleep tonight because I will be unconscious. This is how we start, slowly, slowly, step by step, encouraging ourselves and each other on the way. So this determination to not do again is what gives us the courage to change. So to conclude, Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So now, as Lama Rinpoche recommends, to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma, there is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So just place your mind in that emptiness for a little while, at whatever level you understand it. And in this way we look at all phenomena as empty. They do not exist from their own side, and you can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me right now may not necessarily be the way they exist. So this whole concept of emptiness takes a while, but we can start very simply. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created by doing this purification to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And long life prayers for His Holiness Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world. To the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplished his magnificent prayers, honouring the three jewels, saviour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. There we go, everyone. Gone like a dream, yet again. Thank you so much.